My name is Rafael, you watch Rock Our Garage, and did you know that Toto's vocalist is the son of the legendary movie composer John Williams? That's right, he is. And in this video, we're gonna talk about that. But first, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. Well, Toto is one of the most successful American bands of all time. They're highly influential, but sadly, they had many different lineups over the decades, and I think it might confused a little bit the fans and etc. You can remember David Page, you can remember Steve Lukather, Jeff Porcaro, who was a legendary drummer, but so many lineup changes, and all the other members of the Porcaro family, but there were so many lineup changes, it's hard to keep up with it, and people come and go, they return, they quit the band again, but one of their most enduring vocalists is the singer Joseph Williams, who is the son of the legendary movie composer John Williams, with the late famous actress Barbara Ruick, who passed away too soon at the age of 41 back in 1974. Joseph was born in 1960 in Santa Monica, California. He released his self-titled album in 1982, and in the following years, he worked extensively as a session musician, as a guest vocalist on many soundtracks, kind of doing what his father does, but singing, right? Not composing the music for the movies. And some of his works back then in the early 80s and mid 80s were the song Save the Night from the classic Steven Spielberg movie The Goonies in 1985, and Disney's Adventure of the Gummy Bears, also in that year. His father, for example, if you don't know John Williams, I think he's the greatest composer of cinema of all time. I don't think anybody can beat him in terms of movie themes. And look at this resume. If you don't know John Williams, he's a genius. He made he scored the movies Jaws, Steven Spielberg movie, 1975, Star Wars, 1977, George Lucas movie, Superman, Richard Donner, 1978, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, 1982, another Steven Spielberg movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1977, another Steven Spielberg movie, and the Indiana Jones franchise, created by George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, and another Steven Spielberg movie, Jurassic Park, 1993. These are only a few of his most famous movie scores, and they're quite memorable. If you hear them, you already know, oh, it's from Jurassic Park, it's from Jaws, it's from Superman, it's from Star Wars. They're all amazing, they're all brilliant. But let's talk a little bit more about Joseph and his career with Toto. In 1984, 2 years after Toto released their most successful album, which was Toto 4 in 1982, which has famous tracks like Rosanna and Africa, the lead singer Bobby Kimball, and it was not only Bobby, he was the lead singer, but many other members of the band also were the vocalists on a few tracks, or they would divide the vocals and etc. But Bobby was considered a lead vocalist. He was fired because in early 1983 he faced prosecution for drug-related charges, and although he pleaded not guilty, and the charges were dismissed, the band decided to part ways with him in the following year due to his inability to record vocals and his frequent absence from the recording sessions. To replace him, they first brought in a singer called Fergie Fredrickson, who was formerly from bands like Angel, Trillion, and LaRoe, with whom they recorded the 1984 album Isolation. However, the record failed to achieve the success of its predecessor, and after promoting the album with the tour, they also fired the Fergie. And following his departure, Toto held many auditions, and Joseph Williams was finally the one they chose. And he recorded with the band the successful 1986 album Fahrenheit, which featured 2 hit singles, but they were sung by the guitarist Steve Lukather, which were I'll Be Over You and Without Your Love. And but Williams also contributed with the vocals for their for several tracks from that album, and such as Till the End. And then in 1988 he recorded with the band the album The Seventh One, which had a few hits like Pamela and Stop Loving You. But although both albums were successful, the band decided to replace Joseph in 1988. And in the following years, they had several different lead singers, such as Jean-Michel Byron and Bobby Kimber, who returned a little bit. But from 1992 to 1998, it was mainly Steve Lukather and David Page who were the vocalists of the band. And then in 1998, they had a small reunion to celebrate the band's 20th anniversary, and they bring back former members like Bobby Kimball and Steve Porcaro. But after that tour also, they bring Joseph Williams in it, and he sang with the band on a few occasions. But after that tour, only Bobby Kimball rejoined the band officially, and he stayed in the band until 2008. And during those years, but even during those years, Stephen had a good relationship with the band members, and he would occasionally sing with them and even contribute with some albums, with some recordings in the studio. And from 2008 to 2010, Toto went on a hiatus, but the band was reformed by Lukather in 2010, and it was when Joseph Williams officially returned to the band as their vocalist, a role he continues to hold to this day. And besides being a singer, another really interesting stuff about Williams is that he also plays the keyboards and tambourine. And he's also, as the Toto members, he's also a highly regarded session musician. And one of his most famous contributions outside Toto is he was the singing voice for the adult Simba in Disney's 1994 animated movie The Lion King. It was him. It was his voice. So that's it. I hope you like this video. It's quite interesting. When I discovered that a few years ago, I was, it was mind-boggling for me. I mean, come on. The Toto vocalist is the son of John Williams, the legendary movie composer. And I hope you liked the video. I hope you found this story interesting. Don't forget to subscribe, to like the video, leave a comment, tell me if you knew this or not. And if you want to read more and much more info about this, you can go to the description and visit the article we wrote about it. Okay? Thank you for watching, and I see you later.